The more debates, the better, and be sure that every debate has at least a few flies in it so that we can have some fun with flies. Or whatever.
You mean Mike Pence's only black friend?
Let me just grab a pen, a good pen. Not that one.
Today we are talking debates with the prolific writer and author of many books, Rick. Howdy, welcome to Punchlines. I want to talk first sort of big picture about this whole concept of presidential debates. I mean, it's in the Constitution, right? And going back to like Jefferson and Adams, there was the famous, and since then we built upon this tradition, right?
They don't mention how to regulate social media. They don't tell us how to debate either. There was a radio debate in 1948 that had a bit of historical importance between Harold Stassen and Thomas Dewey, and that became most famous because Dewey called for outlawing the Communist Party, and Harold Stassen said, "You can't outlaw an idea." So that was kind of like the first viral movement we ever had in a debate.
And then in 1960...
60 was the big breakthrough. It was a really galvanizing event because it really was the introduction of television in a new way that never happened before.
In your book, you cite the high hopes in 1960. You quote Teddy White, where he refers to the debate as the simultaneous gathering of all the tribes of America to ponder their choice between two chieftains in the largest political convocation in the history of man. This TV debate thing was like a huge success and really elevated politics, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, actually, they were dangerous, right? So the reason we didn't have any debates between 1960 and 1976 was in order to have a TV debate, you had to have Congress pass basically an amendment or a law canceling the part of the Federal Communication Act that demanded equal time for every candidate. The pundits were so relieved, right, that finally this kind of trivializing, kind of tit-for-tat electioneering would be elevated to the high-minded realm of ideas.
This gets to one of the things about these debates, especially the televised things, where it's very high stakes and small little things can throw people off and they then become sort of a centerpiece for the discussion.
I mean, it was just it's very silly, very fast.
Uh-huh.
So the kind of high-minded Empyrean kind of ideal that this was going to be like Athenian democracy or, went out the window, within like a millisecond.
Well, I guess I have to ask you if you have any thoughts about the latest presidential debate.
I think that in a lot of ways it's, kind of the apotheosis written from the start, right? I mean, the kind of ridiculous theatrics of it.
Well, what can we do in the future? Is it Zoom calls where they're in, isolated booths and there's a mute button?
Maybe a pop quiz on the tax code. Nothing that serves the interests of the networks, which of course have exacerbated all this by turning these things into branding opportunities. The Lincoln Douglas debates, which are obviously the, kind of urtext of this kind of high-minded exchange. Had audiences then who were willing to sit in a field, intently listen to this stuff, and then read them and, pore over every last jot and tittle of the argument.
Didn't the Lincoln Douglas debates also, some of those went on for hours and hours?
Hours and hours, yeah. We just have too many distractions, I guess.
Well, whatever it's going to be very entertaining. I don't know how healthy for the democracy, but we will try to find some entertainment value in it.
Well, it's good to have a laugh in dark times.
It is.